Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Hostility, and today I am back with another gaming PC build video, and we have the budget of $2,000 today. And I know I did a $2,000 build before, but this is using the Skylake platform. So the other one was an X99 build, and since Haswell E is about on its way out, I thought I'd do a Skylake version as well, because, the 6700K, which is the CPU of choice for this build, is still a very, very powerful CPU. So definitely a great build for those who are power users who want to push their system to the full potential and do more intensive tasks like gaming at 1440p or 4K and video editing and doing those types of tasks. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. The gameplay that you're watching in the background is some The Division, some random gameplay, I don't know, but either way, hope you guys enjoy it. And let's kick it off with the CPU. Just like I said in the beginning, is the Intel Core i7 6700K 4GHz quad-core processor. And, this is the best i7 that you can get right now, or the best Skylake i7 that you can get right now. 4 cores with hyper-threading, so you do have, the extra threads to be able to multitask. Definitely very, very useful when video editing or doing other CPU-intensive tasks. It is overclockable, so you can go up to at least 4.5, 4.6 with this setup. If you're lucky, you could probably hit 4.7, 4.8. Definitely gives you a nice speed boost, and just for the sake of tinkering with it. This is a very, very solid CPU, and it's well worth the investment. It is a little bit pricey, but it is definitely worth it. So yeah, let's get straight on to the next part, which is the CPU cooler. And I've chosen the Corsair H110i GTX liquid CPU cooler. And, I've chosen this for several reasons. One, Corsair, in my opinion, makes fantastic all-in-one coolers. Definitely can't go wrong with picking one of these up. Secondly, it is the H110i, which means it does have the 280mm radiator, meaning that it does have more surface area to be able to cool your CPU. It is increased, so yeah, you'll definitely get better performance with the bigger radiator, but just keep in mind that these fans kind of get a little loud. I have an H110i GT in my system, and the fans are just they're a little bit on the loud side. So if you swap them out, this will be a solid CPU cooler, and definitely will help you reach those temperatures of around reach those clock speeds of around 4.5 to 4.7 gigahertz, as well as give you very, very good thermal performance. Keep that CPU nice and frosty. So going on to the motherboard, I've chosen the ROG MAXIMUS VIII, that's 8, Hero Alpha LGA 1151 motherboard. So let me pull up the motherboard page here, because this is a really, really nice motherboard, and it's, in my opinion, if you are invested in building a system like this, definitely invest in the motherboard, and this one is just one of the best Z170 motherboards right now on the market that you can buy. So firstly, has the LGA 1151 socket, and this socket's going to be compatible with probably the next two generations of Intel CPUs. So maybe in the future, if you are feeling like an upgrade, you want to upgrade to maybe like an 8700K or whatever, you can just pop that in here, and you already have a super nice motherboard to complement it. Also, very, very good overclocking performance. So motherboards like this, they spend more, they use higher quality components on the VRMs, which basically controls the voltage and controls everything powering or supplying power to your CPU, and is able to give you better overclocks, because it does have higher quality VRMs and components, which in turn gives you better overclocking performance. Also has all the gaming features and stuff. It is a gaming motherboard, so you do get like the LAN boost, the I don't know what it's called. I have it on my computer, but it pretty much speeds up your internet to prioritize your game, and it has other features like that. And it's a very versatile motherboard. Plenty of features that you probably won't even use, but it's nice to have them there. Also, it does have M.2, has two-way SLI compatibility, maybe even three-way, I'm not too sure, it doesn't really say here. It does have RGB lighting, which is pretty cool. If you're not really invested in system customization and RGB lighting, definitely you can go with just the standard Maximus 8 Hero without the Alpha, and that'll be just as great. And also, it's just very, very, very nice motherboard. It's just nice to be reassured that your components are connected to like a really strong backbone, which essentially is the motherboard of a computer. Or yeah, the backbone of your computer is the motherboard. Just to clear things up. So yeah, very good choice. Definitely would recommend. Obviously, if it's too fancy for you, you can step down. But you know, that's a pretty solid choice right in itself there. Going on to the memory, I've chosen the G.Skill Ripjaws 5 series 32 gig DDR4 3000, and there's not really much to say here except that 32 gigs may seem a little bit overkill, but if you are building a system like this, I bet that you will need it. You know, RAM consumption is going up, so 32 gigs is nice to have, especially if you are multitasking and using more intensive programs like Adobe Premiere, Adobe Audition, Photoshop, and especially if you're streaming, having so many browser tabs and applications open at once, you're going to need the extra RAM. It is DDR4 3000, so it is going to be running a little bit faster than usual, which is a good thing. And you could probably even overclock it further with the ROG motherboard, but you know, RAM overclocking is a bitch. I wouldn't really tinker around with it unless you have a lot of time on your hands. But yeah, you know, 32 gigs of RAM, very solid. Going on to the storage, so I've chosen a little bit of an interesting combo here, straight away from my usual SSD HDD combo. Instead, I have two SSDs and just a regular drive. So I've chosen an M.2 SSD, and it is the Samsung 850 EVO 500 gig. And you know, I've chosen this M.2 because you know M.2 does have faster transfer speeds, faster read-write speeds, which in turn gives you better performance, better boot up time, better load times. Because it is directly connected to the PCI link of the motherboard. That being said, you will have really, really good performance with this SSD, and it is going to be your main drive, so you can, or you should, put your OS and your most used programs and games on there, so you do get those super fast load times, and you do have 500 gigs of storage to play with, so yeah, you have some extra little breathing room, I guess. Going on to the regular SSD, I've chosen the ADATA Premier SP550 480 gig, and you know, I love these SSDs. These are absolutely amazing. Would recommend them to everybody. Not even if you know you're building a budget PC, would recommend this SSD. 480 gigs obviously is just some extra room to put some more programs or games that you don't really use as often, but still want those fast load times. It is still pretty fast though. It is a very high quality SSD, even though ADATA is not a very known brand. They use the components of the Samsung 850 EVO, and yeah, you know, very good performance for and bang for your buck. So would definitely recommend that, as well as going on to the regular hard drive. I've chosen the Western Digital Blue 3TB, 3.5 inch, 5400 RPM, and you know, WD drives are very solid. Just you know, extra storage to put all your movies, music, maybe some games that you don't really play, other stuff. I don't really know what you guys store on your hard drives, but don't judge you, and 3 terabytes is plenty to put whatever the hell you want on that drive. It is 5400 RPM, so it's a little bit slower, but that's okay because you don't really want to be using this drive you don't really want to be accessing all these all your files on this drive too often. So yeah, that's the storage setup that I got going on. So the video card puts us in a really awkward place because with the 1080 about to launch, you know, I would definitely hold off buying a computer for now. But nevertheless, I've chosen the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 980 Ti 6GB Extreme Gaming Video Card, and these 980 Ti's are fantastic. Get a little bit of a tongue twister. Gigabyte makes some of the best aftermarket or custom PCB design cards in my opinion, and the Extreme Gaming is just one step up. Like, it does have some awesome features, and with it being a 980 Ti, it does have added overclocking performance with the WindForce cooler. It does have super fancy RGB LEDs on the fan rings as well, which, you know, just gives your system that extra bling. And you know, it's just a really nice aggressive design, and the 980 Ti is either way a really nice card. So just some buying advice here. So if you are planning on getting this PC, I would wait for the 1080 to come out, and maybe perhaps if you do want the extra performance, like just bonkers performance of the 1080, definitely step up to that. Would recommend it wholeheartedly, but I would jump on those so quick faster than Usain Bolt could fucking run 50 meters or whatever. How long he sprints, I don't know. Because those things are going to be selling like hotcakes, so I would definitely get some in while you can. Or you could wait for the 980 Ti to drop in price, which will definitely happen because the 1080 just outperforms it, and comes really close to the price range. So yeah, would definitely wait and try and get the best deal possible. Just some buying advice there. Don't want you guys to get ripped off or to just lose out on something like that. Now, going on to the case, I've chosen the Phanteks Enthoo Pro ATX full tower case, and Phanteks is very well known for their Enthoo Evolve cases, which look super futuristic, and they look really nice and cool. But this Enthoo Pro is a full tower case, which means you're able to fit more components in while having more room to work around. So you can add in a custom water cooling setup in the future, have plenty of room for two-way, even three-way SLI, and yeah, plenty of drive cages, stuff like that. Very good cable management as well. Phanteks is a top case manufacturer. Obviously, people have different case preferences, but I would definitely recommend this one. You can definitely go for another one if you like, or if you are planning on building this PC, that is. Now, going on to the last item of the build, the power supply. I've chosen the EVGA SuperNOVA 1000 watt G2 80 plus gold certified fully modular ATX power supply. And you guys know that I love the EVGA G2 line of power supplies. Absolutely fantastic products. I wholeheartedly recommend them. Very high quality stuff. I have a 750 watt in my system, and honestly, one of the best purchases that I've ever made. First of all, the bang for your buck is just really good price to performance ratio. They are a very reasonable price, and you get 1000 watts in this particular case, 80 plus gold certified, so it does run a lot more efficient, and it is fully modular, which means you don't have to plug in some of the cables that you don't need, resulting in a better cable management experience. Also, it does have a sleek look. It has the black texture design, which looks really nice, as well as having black cables. So if you aren't getting any cable extensions, these cables will be just aesthetically tongue twister again. Goddamn, these cables will be just as aesthetically pleasing. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty much the build. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the $2,000 Skylake build, and definitely let me know what other budgets I should do and what you thought of this build. If you thought some of the parts should have gone in, or other part recommendations, maybe you don't agree with this build, definitely leave your comments below. I love to respond to you guys. And yeah, so that has been it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy, please be sure to smack that like button and also subscribe for more PC gaming related content. Also, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Snapchat, and Beam. All those will be in the description below. Definitely check that out, as well as there being a full PC part picker list, as well as a list of parts for pricing and availability if you do plan on getting this PC. And yeah, that's pretty much wraps up the video. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.